So for me, I would choose the word inclusion to be my readiness word. I think that everyone around you always has some sort of creative take on anything that you're working on. And by talking and being always open and creating a conversation around what you're working on and what you're creating as an art person or as a creative, I think being able to include all of that feedback and other people's commentary and how they might view something as to be really important. And I think as a whole, for a state, it's really important to all have the access to having the ability to do something creative or have the tools they need, a camera, even if it's a really simple camera, just to kind of hash out some of their ideas or maybe look at that as a possible potential career path that they could eventually go down. So I would consider myself a digital media creative. I go to UConn and pursue digital media design, and I have a minor in fine arts. And so having this dual major and minor, it really enables to look at a lot of different things very creatively. And I love coming up with a creative solution or some sort of creative marketing ploy that you can kind of use to really deliver your message, but in a very creative and engaging way that leaves you feeling something, not just seeing something on the screen. So I have a lot of different hobbies, and a lot of them sort of revolve around the outdoor realm. I'm a huge rock climber, I'm a huge skier, I love doing some sort of I like flipping around and doing parkour or any sort of movement, and I would love to have my videography transition to action adventure sort of videography, telling a story, telling something outside in whether it's 100 feet on a big cliff somewhere or slacklining across the Grand Canyon. I want to be that guy capturing that story, hanging onto the line or something. I was born in England and I lived there until I was 10. And once when I was 10, my parents had this crazy idea and they're like, all right, let's take our kids out of school, and they sold our house and they sold their company, and we then left for a year and a half when we traveled through Europe. And so this TV company approached us and they're like, hey, we'll give you this camera. We want you to film your adventures and film your travels. So throughout our travels, my dad was constantly filming us and hey Josh, where are we today? And I was like, this is the Venice Bridge, or so I was always introducing different things that are around us, and I was always kind of being a little mini television host, I guess, even though I was super shy at the time. So that's always been a bit of a core thing that I think I might have retained, especially when it comes to travel and documenting the travel. I think art and media play a massive role in social change. I think that when someone's be able to create an art piece, they're not just, it's like a picture says 1,000 words. When you create an art piece or a piece of media, that piece of media is able to be seen, especially with the way that social media is today. You can post that piece of media and it can be shared by anyone in the world and anyone can view it. Art is able to also convey big social messages and show people how people feel and how people feel about a certain topic versus maybe just talking about it and not getting as much of a reaction. So I think the only challenge I really face as a media creative is that, especially because my path that I've kind of chosen is videography and cameras and things like that, it can get very expensive. So I think the best way to get started is literally just to use what's available to you, create something that you're proud of, and although it might not be the best quality, it's about the process and about how you're following that passion, and eventually all the other things are going to fall into place down the road. So as a media artist, I want to leave behind a lot of inspiration for younger generations. I started out at UConn as a manufacturing engineering major, and I've made this 180-degree switch once I sort of realized that I had this huge passion that I had, it was untapped. And I think that it's important just to kind of spread the message as much as you can and get everyone around you to at least have a chance to create something, and if they realize that's for them, they can explore it further. But it just has to, the seed has to be set.
Connecticut is ready.
Relevance.
Equity.
Access.
Diversity.
Inclusion.